Alright guys, we're gonna kinda be real here. We're gonna be realist, you know. We're very positive people here on Swing the Rock, but it's time to cut the shit. Sorry mom, time to cut it. We need to talk about the most disappointing team through the first 2 weeks. I'll go because once again I was torn between a couple. They're both in the West, both a couple years ago, well really last year too, have had the first and second place MVP vote getters, OKC and Houston. And ultimately I'm going to go ahead and go with OKC. I'm going to give Houston a little bit of a pass because they're trying to
refining their identity,
right,
resculpting themselves.
Right, they had their defensive coach retire. They're trying to mold in Carmelo.
Yeah, they were already bad. They already were a super cold defensive team, and then they added a player like Carmelo, lost a player like Ariza.
And I'm gonna
say they've had to deal with the Paul suspension. They had to deal with the Harden's injuries. I'm
gonna give them a break. Okay, see, I'm not giving y'all a break. And it hurts me because Russell Westbrook plays so hard every night. Every night.
There's not a bigger Russell Westbrook fan in the state of Texas than me right here.
He plays hard every night. But at the same time, like, for whatever reason, I'll give you guys the first game y'all lost against the Warriors. That's whatever.
And you were Russell-less. And
you were Russell-less. And you hung in there.
And you played on ring night. You had literally 3 strikes. You played in Oracle.
Yeah.
On ring night without Russell. That's 3 strikes. You're out. Buddy. There ain't no chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
What I can't give a pass though is losing 4 straight to start the year. That's no good, you know. And the loss of the Kings, it's not good. And you guys are talented. Like that big 3 alone should beat the Kings. You know what I'm saying? Paul George, I need to see something. Actually, I don't need to see something. Let me get on my soapbox. PG, thanks for not coming to LA, basically. As a Laker fan, I love to see you struggle right now. And I know that might sound kind of harsh, but I don't care. I gotta get that hate out of my heart, bro. But as of right now, I don't care because you chose this, bro. Like, you chose, you're proving to everybody that you can't be a number 1. Which, you know, the realists know, because we saw that in Indiana those last few years, and you were a 7 seed getting swept by LeBron, you know, whatever. 7 seed in the East, so you thought you were just going to come to the West and be the number 1. Those few games Russell were out, good one. But what are you shooting, like 33% from the field? That's not it.
It's like every game since you were shut down by Joe Ingles for an entire playoff series.
Say that again.
Run that back, turbo.
It's like every game since you were shut down by Joe Ingles in that playoff series. Essentially a math teacher. Like, he looks like a math teacher. It's like you're constantly looking for him. Like when you're playing, like you're always looking over your shoulder like, is he out here? Like, are we playing the Jazz tonight? Because you're not hooping.
You're not hooping.
As a Russell fan, I'm so much of a Russell fan that I want the Thunder to do well. Who are you, dude? Like, you're shooting like Roberson, but not playing defense like Roberson. You're worse than Roberson.
Ouch.
Roberson's hurt. Like, at this point, I would rather Roberson come back and you get hurt. Like, I would trade Roberson out. Because for some odd reason, Russell plays better with Roberson than he does with you at the moment. Because you're shooting like 2%. You haven't scored since you were on JV in your freshman year of high school.
It feels like that.
Put the ball in the bucket. You told LA, hey, I'm coming. Oh, by the way, psych, I'm not coming. That smoke that you pulled out for yourself, and now you're shooting like 32%.
Hey, we appreciate it. like we're not mad.
I'm mad for them. I'm going to take what their match should be and I'm going to put it on you because you're not hooping. Remember that year Russell won MVP and he didn't have any teammates?
No.
But essentially he won because he willed that team to a 7 seed.
6
seed. Is this the same team? Like, was Paul George the one that was supposed to come in and change that? Because as far as it goes right now, Oladipo was better than you.
Ow.
Sabonis was better than you.
Oh no, the Pacers won that trade, no cap. They won that trade, no cap.
And I love you. You're a 6'8", essentially a shooting guard, but you play small forward because
you're basically a shorter version of Durant in a sense. Like,
God, don't ever say that.
Oh,
don't disrespect KD.
Like, sorry, KD.
If KD ever scored 8 in a game, he broke his leg in the first 3 minutes. Facts. Like he gets 8 in the first 3 minutes. Facts. Paul George takes.
Pardon me, KD. Pardon me, KD. Yeah. But yeah, like it's just disappointing to see because I honestly had you guys at worst the 5th seed this year. I thought y'all were going to be better than us, being the Lakers. And well, you're not right now, and we've been bad. That bench is awful. When I see a lineup like Felton,
Schroeder,
Diallo, Schroeder, Patterson,
and
Nerlens, I can't go. I can't go.
You want to talk about no floor space?
I can't go. And honestly, I think Billy Donovan is a good coach. Not great for the Thunder, so I'll give Paul George a little bit more of a pass because I think you could come in with that lineup and do something, be the primary guy just for a couple minutes against the backup wings, at least maybe.
At this point, like he's saying, you should walk in and you get those second unit minutes and you should dominate second unit defenders.
You should. I'm sorry, you should be killing anybody not named Butler, Thompson, Leonard, Durant, like anybody else that I see across from you, you should be looking at them as like, I'm finna get 25 tonight.
Like I'm gonna go off.
I'm gonna go off right now. Shout out to Austin Rivers. And mind you, you're not even the focal point of the defense.
They're not worried about, like they're kind of worried about you, but really they walk in this hole going, oh, like we just got to keep Russell off. We got to keep Russell off the glass, keep Russell from sharing the ball to his teammates, and keep Russell from scoring 30. Yeah. Did I say Paul George once? They got to keep Steven Adams off the glass. No, honestly, we got to keep Steven Adams off the glass.
If we keep him off the rebounds.
I named 4 points there. Was Paul George in any of them? You're essentially the third offensive option in a subpar offense.
Ow.
Because Steven Adams is getting more touches than you. Oh, he's not getting more touches than you. He's
more efficient. He's definitely more efficient.
You're taking 3 after 3 like you're Steph.
And
you're guarding, you're defending right now like you're Korver. It's tough. It's tough. So,
with all that being said, I have the Thunder. To reel it all in, I have the Thunder as my most disappointing team.
Mine's more of a team one.
Okay.
And it's not one that maybe we're going to agree with a lot because I feel like we think the organization is in 2 separate.
Okay.
You have them in one group, I have them in another group. I think right now the Lakers shouldn't be 2-5.
I would agree as a Lakers
fan. I think when you add players like a player like LeBron, that alone should make you more than 2-5. LeBron with basically any team should be more than 2-5. LeBron with the Cavs, like this 0-6 Cavs, 0-8 Cavs, whatever they are, would be better than 2-5 right now. I think when you have players like Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, these are 4. This is a young core that teams would die to have on their team right now, and it's just not working. Like it's just for whatever reason it is, it's not working. That's y'all don't have a problem scoring the ball. The Lakers do not have an issue putting the ball in the bucket.
Top 5 in offensive efficiency. So yeah, like offense is not the issue. But can we get a stop?
Like there's just no stops are happening. When you look at their defensive side of the ball, they're lost. No communication.
Can we get a stop?
There's more. It's probably there's three at least 3 times a game a dude has a wide open layup on a back cut or on a screen and slip because there's no communication, no switching. And I feel like at this point, the Instagram boys, the Lonzo, the Kuzma, and the Hart, it's like they don't even care. Like whatever, we're living LA, we're living our best life, and we're getting the bag. Like either way, I'm gonna get paid whether we go 2-5 or.
And it's pissing me off because after any sort of close loss, you know, I would hope for at least for an hour you could get off of Instagram and just be like, damn, bro, we really should have won that. What can we do to win the game next time instead of losing it again by less than 5?
I really feel like in this league you need to just surround your best player with floor spacing so he can have ways to work. But even though they didn't really go with that route when they added players like Rondo, Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, they're still better than 2-5 any way you look at it. Luke Walton's too good of a coach. If anything, this is bringing out Luke Walton may not be that good of a coach.
Maybe.
Because when you look at it, his like superstar coaching year was he had the Warriors, and I could coach the Warriors to 50 wins. So I think it's just bringing out a lot of different things, a lot of things that the Lakers fans are. I'm not gonna say didn't see coming, but we're really just hoping that LeBron is gonna be able to hide it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of like the young turnovers. If you notice, you watching the games, I hear it all the time. I'm sick of these turnovers. This is just young player turnovers that.
Yeah, you're right.
I think LeBron's never had to deal with before. Because when you look at LeBron's past 6 years, it's just been him and vets. Him and vets.
Really, even his first stint in Cleveland.
When he was the rookie, it was him and vets. He hasn't had to play with young guys. He's always been either the young guy. Or he's basically always been the young guy, or
winning right
with
now.
Just all around vets around him.
Yeah.
And so, like he said, I don't know if y'all have seen the comment or not, but he told ESPN, "I'm not really a guy to be around when I lose my patience."
He's running thin, man.
And he's got to stop that. He's got to stop the sun and people. You're not everybody's dad. Kyrie left because of that. Colin Sexton really is glad you don't play for the Cavs because
he wasn't taking that.
And really, these Lakers, these Instagram boys, they're not going for it. Lonzo's got to do with that at home. He's not trying to do with that at work too.
They're not feeling that.
And so
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Because obviously you guys know I'm a Laker fan, but just like the reason I didn't have them in the disappointing category, I guess, is because when I looked at our schedule for the first 6 or our first 7 games, we're 2-5. I just didn't see. I've honestly been happy with the way we've been competing. Like, it just seems kind of like we don't know what direction we want to go in right now. You know,
like I think to touch on that question or that statement, I feel like any team that adds LeBron instantly goes into win now mode, regardless of what length of his contract he signs. I think. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Like, we all knew the Lakers, unless LeBron just went Super Saiyan mode, 30, 15, and 10, they weren't beating the Warriors this year.
Right.
But I still feel like they've got to compete. I think this year, most people had y'all as the 3 seed. And then, like you said, 2019, y'all said 2019
I think that's
supposed to be your year.
That's the year for us.
I just find it tough to go from what y'all are doing right now, so not lost as much as... Like you said, you're searching. What are we doing? Who is our main scorer? Who are we going to play through? Because LeBron is like, we're going to play through me. But if you watch, Kuzma wants the ball off a lot. Rondo wants the ball off a lot.
That shot he took at the end of the Minnesota game, I almost threw up.
They're still trying to find out who are we playing through, which I think shouldn't be that hard. I think you play through the best player
I think we're having more of a problem with who do we want to surround LeBron with. Like, and it goes back to your point. You told me this off the air before. That's really going to kind of hurt Lonzo. And if you look at it, the games, and I got this stat from watching TV, the games, Rondo has played more minutes than Lonzo. We're 0-4. The games that Lonzo has played more than Rondo, we're 2-1, and that loss being in overtime to the Spurs, which LeBron choked. So
LeBron missed 2 free throws.
Right.
Shout out Skip Bayless. I know you had something to say.
Facts. So I think after just 2 weeks, it shouldn't be hard to say to Rondo, you're going to be our guy off the bench. You're going to be the guy who comes in for Lonzo, and you're probably going to play when LeBron's off the court too, because y'all two don't really need to be on the court together.
In the most respectful way I can say this, they basically almost have the same game.
Rondo and LeBron.
And I'm not saying Rondo by any means is
just like the play
top tier player, but they're both ball dominant, very, 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 very ahead of the defense at all times.
But they
pass players open, but they're not the greatest shooters.
And they're very headstrong.
And they're we're gonna do it either we're gonna do it my way or we're just not gonna do it. Yeah. But there is no here. Let me meet you in the middle on this.
No,
it's either my way or
I agree.
So as a Lakers fan, I have a question for you now.
Okay.
Is Luke Walton the guy to address that?
It's another good point. I'm glad you asked me that. I think the reason I'll say no, long term, thinking long term, even this year probably. He can't tell guys like Rondo and LeBron really what to do. Like, normally when you look at a coach that was an average player, which honestly most of the coaches in the league were average players, they are coaching guys who probably never heard of them until, you know what I'm saying, they became a coach.
I think you got drafted alongside LeBron. Is that where you're going with
That's
this?
where I'm going. Like, LeBron and Luke Walton were in the same draft. Okay? Obviously, Luke went to college, did his year, so he's a little bit older, but it's not older enough to be like, hey, son, do this. Like, no. Like, LeBron's probably trying to son Luke Walton, too. You know what I'm saying? And Rondo...
The only person that's safe from the LeBron sonning thing is Magic.
And even Rondo... they've had a couple meetings in the finals against each other, and I know in the back of Rondo's head, he's probably like, "Well, can't guard me." I got one against Luke.
This ring's kind of heavy.
So, you know, even though Luke's won his rings, it's like, are you gonna want? Like, are you the one to tell me what to do? Because I'm not super cold right now, but you were worse than me. So, I don't think he's the guy to answer your question all the way. Definitely not long term. I'll give him this year to just see, because to be fair to him, he's been put in a tough spot. He's got the core that you mentioned that we have. He's
got to somehow use LeBron, develop a core, and still give all these dudes who are on one-year deals contract years. Yeah. Which leads into why I also think it's disappointing. Y'all have how many players on contract year this year? This is the year that players are supposed to ball out.
Well, I mean, to be fair, JaVale has balled.
Okay, so JaVale has hooped. He's averaging like 17.
Stevenson low-key balled. You gotta be real, bro.
He has a hate in his heart for
PG.
PG. I have hate in my heart for Lance for some reason. He's never done the Mavs wrong, but
shout out BK.
But
he's balled. JaVale's balled. Beasley hasn't seen the ball.
Beasley doesn't play.
And Rondo's around. Like he spit on somebody. So yeah, it's a mixture.
I just feel like 2 and 5 is very underwhelming for any LeBron team, regardless of who his teammates are. And I feel like this core is too good. Like I've mentioned before, players such as Lonzo, Ingram, Kuzma, Hart, these players, and basically Kuzma plays starter minutes essentially, even though he's a 6th man, but he plays starter minutes.
He's been starting, like recently.
Josh Hart just got put into the starting lineup. Lonzo's in the starting lineup now, and Ingram's in. So basically, it's the 4 and LeBron. It's the core and LeBron is who's starting for the team right now. Also, JaVale starts a couple of them games in there too. But man, just based off of like players alone, you would think this Lakers team should be really good.
I agree.
Really good.
And the only thing that's keeping me like optimistic is, I don't know if you guys know or not, but he knows I am very. When it comes to my teams, like the Yankees, the Lakers, I am very short-tempered when it comes to losing. Like, I don't like 2 and 5. I hate it. But the only thing that's keeping me kind of calm is the fact that historically LeBron teams have got off to slow starts. They were 9-8 in Miami that first year, and they got to the final. Obviously, a totally different scenario, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of slow start. He's in the West. First time ever.
I think he's starting to see.
He's starting to feel that. He's feeling that. He's feeling that.
There's a difference in what I was playing. It's essentially at this point 2 leagues.
He's feeling that.
Essentially, the West is in a league of its own.
Yeah.
It's.
And then 3, and probably the most relaxing thing I guess I can gain from it, and it can also be used as alarming, but. All the games we've lost outside of the Portland game were within 5 points.
You've said multiple times off air, this is more of a rental year, more of a tryout. Who's ready to see? Who's ready for next year? Who can we bring along with us?
Which young guy is gonna be that guy? And that's what we're really.
And really, it was just like we'll win. I guess what I'm getting is the feeling around Lakers fans is we'll win as much as we can this year. We want to win a championship, but if we don't, all the chips are in for 2019.
Big facts.
And so that would be kind of calming. As to say, like, if it's not this year, it's next year.